Oh, the 80s. People did way too much cocaine back then, dude.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, can't be healthy.
You got to wake up the next morning and realize that the waterbed is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
You're good.
Going down a waterbed rabbit hole.
It's a sewer.
You keep freezing.
I'm not that cold.
Hello and welcome to the 52nd episode of Whip Cream Salmon. Today marks 1 year since we started, 1 year since we started releasing this podcast from
Let's go.
today-ish.
Today-ish.
My name is Ronnie Sanchez. His name is Brian Bastanza. And this is the podcast where we talk about all things food, friends, and fuckery. Thank you for joining us.
Yay.
What's
up, Ronnie?
It's been a year.
It's been a year. It's been a solid year.
It's been a solid year. It's been fun.
We got a lot better, I think. I'd like to think.
I think so.
Episode 1's rough. When was the last time you listened to episode 1?
It's been a minute.
Yeah. Week 1 was the last time I listened to it.
Mm-hmm. You only listened to it the first week, yeah?
That one. I mean, but then once they started getting good, then I just put them on my iPod, and then I've been just rocking them, you know.
Just listen to us talk.
On the way to work, I just listened to, you and me just chat.
Me too.
Does that make me a narcissist?
I listen. Yeah, I mean, it's good quality control. You know, you gotta.
I hate listening to myself talk.
You don't. It doesn't sound the way you think it sounds.
Yeah, I mean, I always listen back because I'm editing the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I listen to the edited version after you post it.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's fun. Sometimes there's things that we say that I forgot that we said.
Mm-hmm.
More often than not, I hear things that we say, and I'm like, "Well, that's wrong. That was dumb." That's probably the most common occurrence.
Yeah, I've done that with myself. I've been like, "Oh, I can't believe that's where I took that conversation."
Like that didn't even make sense.
Yeah, but you know, no one else knows.
No one else knows.
We're the fact providers. So if no one's doing the behind the scenes fact checking, then
well, we've said before, if you're coming to this podcast for facts, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, for sure. Don't listen to us.
This is not the place for facts.
For sure.
This is strong opinions.
Yeah. That's it.
And strong might be a strong word.
Yeah. So they're kind of loose sometimes.
Mostly loose.
Loosey-goosey opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's French for opinion. Ronnie?
See, there's another. I don't know that that's right.
It's not, for sure. Could be.
If
you're French, write us and let us know. Hit us in the old whipcreamsalmon@gmail.com with the French word for opinion. Opinion. It doesn't even sound French.
No.
How are you, Ronnie? How's your week? It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I've been blowing this. I kept
Brian's
pushing
been
it back.
partying too hard to be podcasting.
When were we supposed to initially? Was it like Thursday or Wednesday?
And now it's Monday.
Now it's Monday. I told him that we would podcast on Sunday, but I went to listen to rave music for 2 days straight. And I went to bed late on Saturday. And I woke up at 11:50 and I called Ronnie and I said, "Today's not the day."
This is true.
How'd that make you feel, Ronnie?
You know, I was honestly kind of relieved because I started my new job this past week.
Ooh.
And dude, this place they're just fucking busy.
Yeah.
They crank out pizza.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we go through over 600 pounds of dough per day.
Ooh, how many pounds of dough is a pizza?
Well, each one is 640 grams, or no, 660 grams. I don't know what that equates to.
That's more than a pound.
Yeah, they're big. They're 18-inch pies.
Yeah, 454 is a pound.
Mm-hmm. I know we average like 400-ish pizzas per day on those days.
Damn.
So
how many people slanging doughs?
One person stretching, 2 people topping, and then there's a station for the square pies, and there's usually one person there, and then there's another person manning the ovens.
Oof.
So it's a
That's beastly.
pretty heavy operation, and it's a tiny place. It's super small. So they're just like have really like gamified the operation and just pump out pies, and they make really good pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, I've been sore. My shoulders, my hands, my arms are sore from stretching pies.
That was your station? That's the first thing they put you on?
Yeah, I was stretching for most of it. You know, they had me bouncing around a little bit, but that's where I spent most of my time. And then I told one of the guys there, you know, because I was feeling sore, I was like, I need to get into pizza making shape, because right now I'm just in pizza shape. There's a difference.
Yeah, for sure. You're just in eating pizza shape?
Pizza consuming shape. Yeah, really good at that.
Yeah. I think it's a great shape, Ronnie.
Yeah, it's round, triangular.
Yeah. You've been enjoying it? You like the crew? You like the scene?
It's been good. I definitely need to work on my Spanish, because a few guys there. So the like dishwasher / like Garmo guy, he doesn't speak like any English except for curse words.
Nice.
So, which is wonderful. You know?
I love cussing. I mean, it's such an important part of being in the kitchen.
And he'll be like, "You fucking bastard," and he'll have like the biggest smile on his face.
I used to get in trouble at Azul because I was just fucking potty mouth the whole time. And open kitchen over there, and I'd be fucking, you know, straight out of like high end food and into an open kitchen where I was like keeping it loosey goosey and throwing F-bombs left and right and hitting on servers and all of the things you're not supposed to do.
Frowned upon.
But I do them again, Ronnie.
Dude, when we came from PJ's, which was such a rowdy kitchen, and then I worked at a couple other places that were also closed kitchens, and, you know, not rowdy in the same way that Plum Check was, but like it was loud. And then going to Lulu's, where it was like a fully open kitchen, and like you're expected to like talk very quietly on the line. And like I got like not like yelled at, but I got corrected for like, you know, when you're like working the fryers and you pull out the fry basket, you know, at PJ's, you'd always give the basket like a good slam, or like hang it up and like lift it and drop it and let the, you know, the fries kind of break up from each other and drain out the oil like that. I never realized that was like not a cool thing to do.
Totally.
You know, and they were like, dude,
I still think it's cool, for the record.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
But it's noisy.
Yeah, for sure.
And they were not about it. They're like, dude, you're making a ton of noise over here. It's like, yeah, I'm cooking.
Cooking's loud.
Cooking's loud. They're like, yeah, do it quietly.
We had this kid at Azul that was, I think he line cooked for a little bit, he prep cooked, worked morning shifts, and he just annoyed the fuck out of the other line cooks or the other prep cooks, because he'd be like doing a prep project and just like chopping like up and down with his knife like super fast, you know, and it's just like hella loud. And I sometimes cut like that if I'm like really trying to bang out a project, but everything in that kitchen was kind of like, they're all big projects like that, you know, and like it's just like all day he was like pissing people off. People were like complaining and shit.
So you're just slamming the cutting board all day?
Yeah, like, it's like, shut up, bro. That's funny. It didn't bother me, but
yeah, there are a lot of kitchens where like, well, one, if you're making a lot of noise on your cutting board, say if you're like slicing peppers, and it's noisy, it's an indication that your knives are dull. So some kitchens you'll get in trouble for that. Also, if you're like scraping things off of your cutting board with the blade, you'll get reprimanded for that because you're dulling your knife by doing that. So tip, if you're going to like slide things off your cutting board, either like flip the knife over and use the back edge of the knife or come in like a real steep angle so that you can kind of scoop underneath what you're picking up and move it that way. But yeah, don't slide the blade at like a 90-degree angle across your
it's not good for it.
board.
Get a bench scraper as well.
Yeah,
we've thrown that tip
Still
around
don't have
for
one
sure.
of those, but I like that tip.
Yeah. I see a lot of people like grate ginger or garlic just directly onto the thing and then put it into whatever. Don't even fuck up a cutting board. Just take a microplane and your garlic and just grate it onto the bench scraper.
That's interesting. Okay. I actually do have a bench scraper downstairs. I just I don't really use it very often, but
Slang bench scrapers at the pizzeria, I bet, huh?
Yeah, big ones.
Yeah.
The hardest thing, because our pies are 18-inch doughs, and all the pizza places I've worked in the past, it's a big pie. All the pizza places I've worked in the past, I don't think we had one that size. And if we did at the pizza place that I worked at when I was like 20 something, it's been a long time since working with that kind of dough. It's fucking hard to work with. It's a lot easier to toss a small dough than a really large one.
Yeah. For sure. You can tear them easy. They're not as like even, right? Like, yeah. I mean, it can be, but yeah, that's a big pie. Proud of you.
Thanks, bub.
Yeah. Should we crack our celebratory beer skis?
Absolutely. To our anniversary.
Love.
Happy anniversary, Ryan.
Happy anniversary.
Probably my most consumed beer on this podcast.
Let me guess. Pacifico.
And I see you have a Singha.
I do.
So, par for course.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good, though. Seriously, one of my favorites.
Especially with how hot it's been in North Carolina.
Tell me about it. This weekend was crazy.
My AC just kicked on here. Might be a little noisy.
It's okay. I like a little noisy.
I don't know if that's true. You been cooking anything?
What have I been cooking? I broke out the wok yesterday and did a little kind of stir fry with some almost like, I'm calling them like barbecue salmon bits.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I had like just some stir fry vegetables, and I like made like a sauce with some gochujang and some soy and some sesame oil and some garlic, and I kind of like did the veggies first, threw the salmon bits in there with some oil, threw the sauce on there, kind of cooked that down a little bit and sticky-ish a little bit, and then threw everything back in there with some rice and kind of did that. It wasn't really a dish. It was just something I was just feeling it, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
I did something in the same kind of vein. I bought some flank steak like a week ago. And I've had this packet of like a Korean barbecue marinade in the cupboard that I don't even know where it came from, honestly. It's been there for quite a while, and I decided to marinate the steak with it. And then I didn't really have a plan, because as I put it in a vacuum sealed bag, and I was like, well, fuck, if I cook this thing, it's just gonna burn. It's like I really didn't think this through. But I ended up just sous videing the thing in the marinade.
Nice.
And then pulled it out, threw it on the cast iron, like 30, 40 seconds on each side, really hot, and sliced that up, had some white rice and kimchi, and it was fucking really good. Super solid.
Nice. Pizza oven?
No, I just did it. I did it outside on the burner in the cast iron.
Word.
But Yeah.
Do you have the sous vide bags? I know, like, do you have a food saver? Is that your vac sealer?
Yeah, I just get the vacuum seal bags.
Just get the regular bags. They do make like sous vide bags, like.
Yeah, I think they're just thicker.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I use my Instapot.
Less BPA or the same amount of, how many BPA is in there?
Yeah, it's like full BPA. Okay, I don't know. The bags I got.
I like full flavor, so
yeah. the bags I got, I will say, like, it always trips me out because when you pull it out of the water, you're like, I can smell the inside contents of this bag. So they're not very good, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, even the real vac seal bags, even like the cryovac bags, even those are sometimes finicky, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's essentially what I got. But I know at my previous job, when we got our vacuum sealer, I had messaged my old chef and I asked him like where he got his vacuum seal bags, because he always got like nice, like super thick vacuum seal bags. And he told me that you need to look for like, it's either like 3 or 4 millimeter, or 3 or 4 which I'm assuming is millimeter. I don't understand how they measure that, because there's no way the thickness of that bag is fucking 3 millimeters thick, because it's still about the thinness of a piece of paper. Yeah. So what that's measured by, I really don't know. But
maybe those are mini meters.
Yeah. It's micrometers.
It's a tenth of a millimeter.
That's probably what that means.
Yeah. Small M's?
They were lowercase m's. Yeah.
I feel like that's the wrong casing for a micrometer. Or a mini meter, for that matter.
It should just be 4 N's.
4 N's?
Yeah.
N.
Yeah, it's like half of an M.
Right. I got that.
You got it.
Yeah. Or like 4 upside down W's. 2 of them. 4 upside down U's. Single U's.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. I also made shrimp scampi tonight.
Ooh.
You
garlicky motherfucker.
Very.
You keeping the vamps away?
Yeah, Rochelle asked for it to be extra garlicky too, so
you do chopped garlic or sliced? What's your style?
I used my that garlic grater thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not, dude, it's so convenient. Chopping garlic is it's not very fun, especially when it's the only thing that you need to cut.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Give me a thumbs down on that. Ruin your whole cutting board just for a little garlic?
For a little tiny thing of garlic.
Sticky fingers?
Yeah.
They used to call Ronnie in high school.
Yeah, I used the little grater thing I got, and it was great. However,
it was great. It was great grating.
I see what you did there.
Thanks.
Clever son of a bitch. How do you feel about bucatini?
Ooh. It's not my favorite pasta.
It's probably my least favorite.
I feel like it's hard to cook and be perfect. I feel like they're always a little firm.
Part of it, yeah.
I feel like I never get them and they're perfectly cooked.
You can't slurp them either.
Yeah, there's too much air getting through the straw hole.
It's the least satisfying pasta to eat. And because you can't...
Unless you have a really loose sauce, and then you can just...
Well, no, I had it in a scampi. It's the sauce is super thin.
You couldn't suck the butter through the tube?
If I had the other end of it in the sauce.
Right.
In a pool of it.
Yeah.
The problem with it...
That's not how you designed your dish.
The problem is you can't... Because of the hole in the middle, you cannot slurp bucatini the same way you can do a spaghetti. And so it forces you to bite the noodle in half.
Yep.
And then by the time you get to the remaining bits of your pasta, you just have a bunch of small bit and half pieces of bucatini in the bottom.
Mm.
It's not a good situation.
Yeah. I'm a big
they're, like-
linguine guy.
Linguini's great.
My favorite.
You know, I love.
I mean, a pappardelle.
Pappardelle is what I was going to say.
The thicker, the better. Hey.
Yeah. I like a big fat noodle.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, but
like
anything flat. Too. I'll take anything flat.
Yeah. What other? Can you name any others?
Flat pastas.
Yeah.
Fettuccine, linguine, pappardelle.
Okay, you named one different one.
What do you mean? Those are all three different ones.
Yeah, no. I mean, we had already named the pappardelle and the linguine.
Oh, okay.
You just added fettuccine and said the other two.
I mean, I imagine there's sizes in between those.
Sure. Yeah, probably.
Raviolis can be flat.
Mm-hmm.
Lasagna.
A lasagna is a flat noodle. Yeah,
it's a big old flat noodle. Imagine you just had like you just did like pasta and meatballs, but you just got like one sheet of lasagna draped over your meatball. It'd be kind of fun.
What I've had, what do they call it? A raviolo, where it's just like your dish is like it's just one giant ravioli.
It's pretty dope.
It's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. Egg yolk inside that sucker.
Yeah. You kind of have to eat it like it's a pie or something. You like cut out pieces of it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had muffaldini?
Sounds familiar. Yeah. What is it?
It's similar to like a lasagna sheet. How the lasagna has like the waves on the side, but it's about the width of like maybe 2 linguini side by side or fettuccines.
This one has no waves?
It has waves on both sides.
Oh, it has waves.
It's like a skinny.
I know what you're talking about. How do you call it again?
I think it's called muffaldini.
Muffaldini. Hey.
Muffaldini.
Muffaldini. Hey.
Yeah, you gotta do the Tommy Cutlets when you say it.
You ever seen the movie SLC Punk?
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene where one dude is talking about a waterbed, but it doesn't have waves. And I think you just quoted that movie. You said, "Oh, this one has no waves." He's like, "Why didn't you just get a regular bed?" He's like, "I don't think you understand. There's no waves."
I think I want the one with the waves, right?
The waterbed? I don't want a waterbed with waves.
I don't know. I mean, what's the point of having a waterbed if you don't have the waves?
I feel like it would murder your back. Don't you think?
It's not good. I mean, there's definitely a reason why people don't make waterbeds anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody obviously does, but...
My aunt had one growing up. We thought it was the coolest thing when we were kids.
Just a logistical nightmare. Yeah.
Soggy.
How do you get it filled up?
Yeah.
You're running hoses from your garden through your house.
Running hose.
I mean, the amount of...
Ronnie's running hose.
Running hose all over my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what you said.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Hard to get leverage on a waterbed.
There was probably a major spike in, flood insurance claims in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Due to waterbed malfunctions.
How much water do you think goes in a queen size waterbed? 40 gallons?
More than that.
More than that?
I was going to say like
100?
3 to 400.
3 to 400 gallons?
I don't know.
I'm thinking like a 22 quart is 5 gallons. You lay down like a dozen of those, you know? I'm going to say 46 gallons. Final answer. Regis.
46?
Yeah.
Okay, well, no, it says a queen-size waterbed holds between 150 to 200 gallons.
You went way over, so I win.
Okay.
Price is Right rules, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Okay. They still make them?
I'm sure somewhere. 200 gallons of water is 1,668 pounds.
So heavy. Oh my God.
That is so heavy.
Imagine you just had to like move the thing. right? You gotta like move. You're like, oh, I'm rearranging the house. I'm moving this into another bedroom. You gotta drain that thing. Oh, the 80s. People did way too much cocaine back then, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, can't be healthy.
you got to wake up the next morning and realize that the waterbed is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
You're good.
Going down a waterbed rabbit hole.
It's a sewer.
You keep freezing.
I'm not that cold. I think it's kind of nice in here.
Got your guns out.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Sun's out, guns out. A little bit. I was just going to ask if you're like, you're on 5 days a week, you're fully on the schedule. Like, what's, are the all short staffed, or do you have like a ton of people there? Are you like, are you perfectly staffed? Like, where's the?
We're pretty flush right now. I think we're a little overstaffed because they are in the process of opening a couple new projects. They've got another pizza spot that they're opening that's going to just be takeout only. And I think that's the idea, is to kind of help alleviate some of the pressure on our location.
Mm-hmm.
Also, kind of interesting, in the back of the restaurant, of the new spot, they have like a 16-seat dining area, but it's not going to be used for dining for the pizza place. They're going to do their own kind of, I think it's going to be like prefix kind of deal there. I'm not sure the logistics of all that, what's going to happen with that. But they're also opening a wine bar in town. So they kind of just have a lot of moving parts right now on that front. So yeah, I'm training to take over like the ordering and everything for my current location. And then yeah, a lot of moving parts, a lot of people moving around, things happening over the next couple months here. So stay tuned.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Still a lot that I'm not quite privy to or have a full understanding of, but you know, just trying to figure it all out.
Are you going to be at the main spot, or like, are you going to bounce around at all? Has that been kind of floated in your direction, or?
I think I'm just going to be at the main spot. But I was talking to the guy that's training me. He was telling me about that like 16-seat spot. I was like, oh, you have to get me over there sometime to, you know, scratch the, I don't know. I guess it's going to be more of, you know, prefix kind of semi like exclusive fine dining vibe to it. I was like,
Italian though?
There sometime. I'm not. I think probably is going to be mostly in that vein, but I'm not 100% sure of like what they're going to be doing over there. I know they were testing out a couple different things. They had some. They did like a really thinly sliced roast beef with fresh grated horseradish on it, some olive oil, just like super simple, you know, kind of appetizer things that they were messing with the other day. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're gonna do there. I've been just trying to wrap my head around all these pizzas that I'm going to be making.
What do you think the most popular food for North Carolinians is?
Well, I mean, you think immediately like barbecue.
It is what I was thinking about.
Probably the most popular or most consumed thing in North Carolina is probably Bojangles. I would think probably well way up there.
It's not barbecue. That's just fried chicken.
It's fried chicken. So maybe it's just fried chicken.
I wanted to get closer to like if you had like a nice restaurant, like what would be, not outside of fast food, outside of even pizza, like, because I'm sure pizza is very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a cuisine that reigns supreme? I think barbecue.
Yeah, I would say it's got to be barbecue.
It's got to be barbecue in most places. In the
Yeah.
South, at least.
Yeah. I just don't know, like, how...
Burgers are always popular.
Like, I do wonder, like, how often people are going to, like, the same barbecue spot. You know?
Yeah. I went to one the other night, last week. This place, Sweet Lou's. Spell Lou, L-E-W. Mindfuck, for sure.
Okay.
They had, I think it was Friday night. It was either Friday or Saturday, but anyway, they just had free beers.
Free beer.
They're like, you get barbecue, you get a beer. Cans of Outlaw in the cooler.
Great idea.
It was awesome. I got some brisket and some sausage, some sides, and a cold Outlaw. You ever have Outlaw? This is new to me.
I've seen the cases. The reason that they're free is because they're very cheap in the grocery store.
Yeah.
You find them at Food Line. They're like the cheapest beer in the store.
Yeah. They're Bud Light, Coors Light-esque.
Yeah.
I think they're better than like the shitty natty ices that we used to drink.
Yeah.
Not much isn't. But I crushed those things. They had $5 16 ounces at the venue I was at this weekend. It's crushing them. Kidding me? $5?
That's great.
Sometimes you spend $12 on a beer at a venue, you know?
Yeah, or more.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see. We'll see at the Padres game. I'm sure they're not cheap there.
Ooh. Yeah, they're gonna get us good. Let me sneak some in.
Yeah, we need to buy those. It? What's that?
You could gooch it.
Yeah, I don't want your gooch beer. Maybe you have
gooch
yours.
your own beer. I might gooch two for myself. You gooch one.
Okay.
We can share one.
Gotcha. Okay. we'll workshop that. You need one like some kind of like a bladder pouch, like a wearable Camelback type device.
Are you a Camelback guy?
When they first came out, I definitely had one, but not anymore. No.
Yeah, me neither.
I haven't had one in a long time.
Same. Sorry, I brought it up.
They get kind of gross.
The bladders get gross.
Yeah.
You'd be chewing on the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
You probably just put that in the dishwasher.
Yeah, it's just easier to just have a water bottle.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm not like so thirsty that I need like immediate access to it at all times.
Depends where you're at though. So like if you're backpacking and you're maybe doing some steep shit and you got your power poles going, you might want a little.
Yeah, but even that, I've gotten away from that. That I
power poles or water.
Oh no, I use the power poles, especially now because I'm old and my knees are bad.
They're great. Those fucking bonus tip. If you haven't hiked with power poles, give that a go.
Get yourself some hiking poles. Yeah,
dude, yeah. It's like being a dog.
It's like hiking in 4-wheel drive. Yeah, exactly. It's like being a dog. I have a backpacking tent that utilizes your power poles as the tent stakes.
Oh.
So you don't have to carry around like the extra weight of the tent stakes.
Some people are obsessed with their weights of their bag.
I know.
I find it to be a little much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about getting your weight down because if you're on a long hike or a steep hike, your backpack gets real fucking heavy.
Yeah.
However, I'm not about to be cutting my toothbrush in half and cutting off all like the extra drawstrings on things to save, 12 grams.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
It's crazy.
And also, I'm not willing to give up every piece of comfort, Right. Like, I don't bring any kind of a pillow.
You think I'm not bringing my body pillow on this backpacking trip?
You think I'm not bringing my PlayStation?
Are you kidding me?
Get out of here.
Whatever, loser.
You spend a night in nature without electronics.
You psycho? You a psychopath?
My mini projector.
No, but the thing, like, it's like, okay, there's the thing. Maybe it's a sleeping bag, and the regular sleeping bag, that's pretty light is like $40. And then the super light one is like $240.
At least.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Just carry the extra weight. You'll be strong.
Be stronger.
Be stronger. Do some squat diddlies.
Brian's doing squats.
Just did a couple.
I a couple years ago now, I went backpacking with my buddy in Utah, and we hiked to the tallest peak in Utah. It's called Kings Peak, I think. And there was a ton of moose out there, and we were hiking. First of all, it was like, we didn't realize, but it was like right during like peak mating season. So there were just like moose calling throughout the entire day and night, just nonstop, very close to the tent.
The moose were calling?
Mm-hmm. Unless it was a hunter, like very close to us, but with the moose call. But I'm pretty sure it was moose. But we were like going through this like meadow right before our last ascent, and we're in like shoulder to head height brush, and I'm walking through, and I like turn to my right, and there was a moose looking at us from like 6 feet away.
Stop. Really?
Just staring right at me. I was like, oh fuck. And I grabbed my buddy behind me. He's like, what? And my buddy Logan's like significantly shorter than me. He's like 5'7" or something, 5'8". And I was like, oh fuck, dude, there's a moose. And he turns, and he couldn't see it. So he like jumped up, and he's like, oh fuck, keep going. I kept boogieing. But yeah, there were so many.
They're not dangerous, right?
They can be, for sure. Any big animal,
That's true. But they don't eat meat, right? They're herbivores?
No, they're not going to eat you, but they'll trample you for sure. You're not going to get eaten by a moose.
That would suck.
That'd be the worst.
Yeah. A moose bite. You have to go back to town real quick. That would have ruined your whole thing.
I have a picture that I took on the trip, and there's like 6 moose in the frame of the photo.
Whoa. That's cool.
Mooses. Is it mooses or just moose?
I
Mice.
think it's just moose.
I think multiple moose are mice.
Meese? Moosin.
Moosin.
Yeah. Goose.
Speaking of animals.
Maverick. I fuck with animals.
It's time for the Whip Cream Salmon animal tip of the day for people that don't know much about animals but want to know more about animals.
Let's go. Ronnie? Do you want me to kick it off?
Please.
I got a good animal here.
Okay.
What you know about the kangaroo?
Glad it's not the same animal I have.
Okay. They're Australian.
Uh-huh.
That's not my fact. I want to talk about their hops. Their ups, you could say.
Uh-huh.
And their speed. You know that they could hop over 8 meters in a single hop? It's really far.
How many is that? How many feet is that?
Probably at least 24.
I think you're about right.
A little more than that, maybe 25. That's far. Imagine like jumping
really
like
far.
all the way like across the house, I feel. Like halfway across the house. Our house. They can also hop at speeds of 43 miles per hour over short distances.
How many kilometers is that?
70.
That's a lot of kilometers.
I know. They can sustain speeds of 40 kilometers per hour for a few kilometers.
That's wild. That's like how many miles per hour?
25.
That's
It's fast.
it's very fast.
They have large elastic tendons in their hind legs where they store elastic strain energy.
Interesting.
They're fast.
Very fast.
You ever seen one hop?
Not in person.
I never really hung out with many. No. Me neither. I do
Pretty
like
cool
them.
fact, though.
Yeah.
Talking distances. I heard they don't make yardsticks anymore.
Just meter sticks?
Well, they just don't make them anymore.
What do you mean?
They can't make them any longer.
They don't make them any longer. They're exactly a yard.
I heard that one at a sandwich shop the other day. I had to share it.
Do you know the word butt cheeks?
Uh-huh.
Do you keep them together or do you spread them apart?
Put a hyphen between them.
That's hot.
Did you know the
Who's hyphen?
do you know the dung beetle?
Okay. Heard of
It
them?
navigates using the Milky Way.
Could it do it with a Snickers or?
Clever. Very clever, Brian. When they're rolling their poop around or rolling dung around, scientists discovered that when there are clear skies, the dung beetle rolls their dung ball in a much straighter line. But if it's overcast, cloudy, and they can't follow the light of the Milky Way, that they get confused and they like end up going in circles and scrambling around.
Poor little dude.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. The Milky Way.
Yeah.
Smart little buggers.
The more you know.
Yeah. Why do they love dung so much?
I don't know. Probably because they're named after it.
They're just, living with purpose, I suppose.
You know, a couple weeks ago we were talking about otters, and you just mentioned kangaroos, and it made me think about it. Because they also have pouches, but otters are not marsupials.
They got pouches?
That's where they keep their favorite rock.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
They're so cool.
Yeah. I just want to hug one.
Mm-hmm.
Probably scratch the fuck out of me, but whatever.
Be worth it.
What are you? Idiot.
You stupid idiot!
I'm an idiot sandwich.
You're an idiot!
Of all the idiots, you stand alone.
It's the idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich.
Woohoo. Yeah. Yeah.
Years ago, when I was working at a pizza spot, first one, really crappy place. I come into work, and I was working. My best friend Alex was working there with me at the time, and he saw me coming through the front door. And Alex is known for like always singing and just like, I don't know, being silly. And he was cooking up a big old pot of tomato sauce, and he had like one of those like really long stirrers. You know, they're like 2.5, 3 feet long, probably, for the big stock pot. And he's like stirring this thing, and he starts singing, "When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie," and he swings this thing around, and he like throws his head back to look at me as he's singing it as I come through the doors, and he ended up pulling the whole pot of pasta sauce off the burner.
Oh.
And it, like, the second I got to work, just exploded, you know, however many gallons of pasta sauce.
Oh, no.
All over the back kitchen. So it was hilarious.
That's grounds for some serious making fun of.
It was hilarious, but it was also a huge pain in the ass that was how I started the day.
Yeah. Better than the end of the day.
Also, I don't know, because it covered me in quite a bit of tomato sauce, and then you have to work like that for the entire day. So, idiot sandwich, Alex, thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I'd forgotten about that day.
So I went to this festy this weekend. It was a really good time. On Friday night, it's about 7:30. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get a little food. They had a few food trucks over there. There's a burger spot, no line over there, so I go over there. I'm like, let me get a burger, all the way, hook it up, you know, all the toppings. They hand me a little buzzer, thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, all right, we'll buzz you when it's ready. And I'm hanging around. And I'm watching this window and I'm like, damn, there's a lot of people ordering food at this window. There's almost no food coming out of this window. What is the deal? And I'm sitting there, I see this girl and she's like distressed. She's holding a buzzer. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, this is taking forever, huh? She's like, I've been waiting here for a long time. Eventually, probably a half hour goes by. Her thing buzzes. She goes over. She gets her burger. And she's like, you're next. It's worth it. It's good. I'm like, all right. So I sit down at the picnic table. I'm chit-chatting with a couple of people. It's an hour that goes by.
Oh, my God.
A whole set of music has has started and ended by the time. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not having that bad of a time. I'm kind of just chilling. But like, I was like, what the F is going on? Eventually I go up to the thing and I'm like, hey man, where's my burger at? And they were like, oh, we've been trying to buzz you for a while and give you your food, but your buzzer's broken.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, what the F is going on? So I think it was a 40-minute burger, and since I had a broken buzzer, turned it into an hour burger.
Well, what happened was it took so long for you to get your food that your buzzer died.
Yeah. I was just blinking the whole time, and then it just fried itself out.
Oh, my God.
I was like, it wasn't even like I said, there was a lot of people walking up, but they were like, it wasn't like a line. People were like strolling up, ordering food.
So did you get a cold burger or did they get you a...
It was, food truck temp.
Ugh.
It was pretty good. I'll be honest.
Okay. Well,
I just needed to fucking get something in me, but yeah, idiot sandwich goes to that burger truck for...
get it together.
What? Get it together an hour? Even 35 minutes. I was like, let's crank out some burgers in here. I almost had to step back there. Imagine if I just like climbed on the truck and was like, no.
Maybe we should get a food trailer or something together for just do some like festivals and stuff.
Some festies, dude. What about it?
What should we sell?
Burgers. Whatever they want us to sell.
So what do we want to sell?
Lo mein.
A lo mein truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
You tell me you'd be at a festival, not want some lo mein?
We should sell like, no, it does sound awesome. We can do like a little like Panda Express truck.
Yeah.
So like orange chicken,
Yep.
fried rice, lo mein.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not fried rice. Well, maybe fried rice. Yeah, actually, we just sell the leftover rice from the night before as fried rice.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone going, oh, selling left, that's how you make it. Shut up.
That's how you make it. We made it before we got here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, idiot sandwich goes to y'all. And congratulations. You'll be hearing from us shortly.
From your lawyer or?
No, just with the prize.
Oh, with the prize. Okay.
Yeah. And now
it's time
for
the whipped cream
Salmon. Cook good. I want to do other things good too.
How do you do it? Let me hit you with some knowledge.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Brian, take it away.
I have a weird one.
Okay, I want to hear it.
My tip is to give a restaurant that looks good a second chance.
A second chance?
A second chance. I had a meal at this restaurant in Charlotte, and I was like, this ain't it. It's like kind of this noodle spot, and I got this noodle bowl, and it like came with like no sauce. It was like dry noodles almost, like, and it didn't have sauce with it. And I was like oh, I thought the server like didn't bring the broth with the bowl. And I said something. I was like, hey, like, is there sauce with this thing? And they're like, no, like, there's no sauce, but I can bring you some sauce. And I was like, it was just like noodles that were like, kind of stuck together. Like, they're just like.
Was it a Vietnamese place?
No, it's like an Americanized noodle spot.
Okay.
I mean, they got Thai dishes, they got Japanese dishes, they had some sushi, and they had this noodle bowl. And I totally didn't get this dish, right? I was like, oh, this is like a pork like brothy like noodle bowl is what I thought. And it had some pork, but it just came on like noodles that were like stuck together with no sauce.
Weird.
Or broth or anything. And I kind of wrote the place off. And then the other night we were looking around, we were in the area, and I was like, fuck, I don't really like this place, but it's the closest thing around. Let's just try it. And I went back and I got some sushi rolls and I had a really good experience. So sometimes you might just not get the dish, and sometimes it's just like, you know, some dirtbag cook is doing the thing and it's not that good. I'm not saying that was about this place, but I think sometimes if you see a place that's interesting and you don't have the best experience, sometimes it's worth giving them another shot.
Ryan is all about second chances.
Forgiveness, Ronnie. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
My tip, and I don't know if we've covered this one. We may have, but I don't remember it. But if you don't have like quart containers in your house, deli cups, that's what every restaurant uses for their prep. Most every restaurant. A lot of times now, if you order like to-go food, the restaurants will even like package their to-go food in deli containers. They're fucking awesome to have at home. They're reusable. They all stack really nicely together. They don't take up a ton of room like Tupperware or like, we have these, I've talked about this before and I got in trouble for shitting on them, but we have these glass containers that they just take up way too much room in the cupboards.
Same.
They're good for certain things, but deli containers are just the way to go. So
They're the tits.
yeah, get yourself some deli containers. I also use like the like black plastic with the clear top, you know, to go containers. We have a bunch of those. Maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years now, I was making I was cooking for my cousin throughout the week. She had asked me to make her like meal prep stuff. And so I went on Amazon and I bought a bunch of those to-go containers, and it's what I packaged everything in. And I still use them all the time. So I don't know, get yourself some of those things. They also make it like really easy and convenient when you're cooking, when you like have prepped stuff to put them in those containers, like while you're waiting to throw it into your pan. Those stack really well too. So
yeah,
get yourself some deli and to-go containers.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Those are also really good.
Or save them.
Yeah. Go out to take out and just save them.
Just save them. Yeah.
They're really good. Like if you're hosting people and you have a bunch of food and you want to send some food home with people, be like, here's some Tupperware. You don't have to bring this back. Here. I think that's great. I use them all the time.
100%.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. And now it's time for the Whip Cream Salmon giveaway.
Year giveaway. Anniversary giveaway.
That want things.
Yay.
Brian, tell them what they've won.
We're so happy that y'all have joined us for the last year, and we're happy to, give back to the WCS community. We're giving away a wok that I ordered 2 woks, and I don't need one of them because turns out you only need 1 wok to cook food with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Generally.
Agree? You could have, not always. You could have 2. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to run this for a week, and those who are listening, you're going to email us whippedcreamsalmon@gmail.com. You're going to send in your best idiot sandwich.
Yeah, you can also send it to us on the Instagram page.
Yeah, nice.
So if you're not already following us on Instagram, follow us on Whip Cream Salmon Podcast, and you can direct message us on there. We'll check those messages as well, or you can email us. Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, we're gonna go through them. We're gonna pick out the best idiot sandwich that's submitted, and y'all are gonna have a nice carbon steel walk coming your way. It's really exciting.
Yeah. So please submit your stories. We'll shout you out on the pod. We'll read it out on the pod. And yeah, you can start cooking in a walk yourself.
Yeah. They're gonna be stoked. This thing is sick.
Yeah.
We'll talk about seasoning the thing and all that. It's awesome.
Really cool.
Great Asian food.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for everybody that's tuned in for the last year. It's been a lot of fun. I'm proud of us that we haven't missed a week. Even though some of the podcasts have not all been out on the same day, but we're getting them out as best as we can.
We're getting them out.
And that's all that matters, because we still have jobs and lives that exist outside of this podcast, and it's not always easy. And everybody send Brian a lot of love because he's the one that edits all these podcasts. So yeah, most of the weight has been on him in that regard. So
You don't say that, Ronnie. You be on there Instagramming, just reeling your heart out.
Appreciate it.
No, it's awesome that people have been tuning in and excited to do the giveaway, and yeah, just thankful for everyone that's been a part of this. So
Yeah.
thanks to y'all.
Yeah, let's keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Stay creamy.
Stay creamy, y'all.
Peace.